G'day everyone, it's Omidex here and welcome to yet another episode on this channel. On this episode we're trying out the 3-4-2-1 to see if it's still very good after the patch. Like, if you didn't try this formation before the patch, I'm sorry for you, it was so good before the patch. The idea is, with the instructions, to make this formation defend in a 4-4-2 setup with 4 defenders and 4 midfielders, and in attack we want to transition into a 3-2-5 where we attack with 5 attackers and 2 holding center mids. So let's get to the tactics, shall we? We're gonna start with balanced defensive style, a width of 47 defensive width that is, and a depth of 55. Build up play on balance, direct passing, chance creation, and with width we go a little bit wider than neutral. This will make sense when you see the gameplay because most of the stuff we're gonna create is gonna come from the wide areas. That's just naturally how this formation plays. 5 players in box and corners and free kicks, down to your preferences. Now, instructions are a very important part of this setup. It's a make or break for it, so pay close attention. Our central striker we have on stay central and get in behind. Now, one of our wide forwards we're gonna have on stay central and come back on defense. It's very important that we have this player next to the fullback in the wide area, because as left and right midfielder we're gonna have a fullback and an actual winger. So Salah here with the comeback on defense instructions needs to be in front of the actual fullback. Now the left midfielder, which is our fullback here, Theo Hernandez, the instruction should be on comeback on defense, stay wide and stay on edge of the box for crosses. We want this player to go forward and contribute in attacking, but not commit to the box whenever there is a chance for a cross. Remember, we don't want to get countered like crazy here. The other wide forward, in this case Neymar, needs to be on stay central and the rest absolutely default. When we're defending in a 4-4-2 setup, Neymar is gonna play right next to Aubameyang as a secondary striker. Down to our right midfielder, who needs to be an actual winger, not a fullback, and a fast one at that, is on stay forward, cut inside, get in behind and get into the box for cross. When we transition to defense, we don't want this player to go and play as a fullback. He's gonna be our right midfielder, Salah is gonna be our left midfielder, and Theo Hernandez is gonna go and play as a left back. And that's exactly how we form a 4-4-2 when we are defending. Our 2 central midfielders are on stay back while attacking and cover center. On 3-4-2-1, it's crucial to have agile center mids here, or you're gonna find yourself giving the ball away way too often and you're gonna be in trouble. Trust me, you want agile players here. The instruction on defenders will be absolutely default, and our goalkeeper is on comms for crosses and default. Now let's see to the gameplay part and see how this formation performs. Meanwhile, I want to talk about some stuff. Is this formation as good as it was before the patch? Yes and no. When actually attacking, this is a top quality formation. The number of attackers you get and the runs you have on the wide areas and the congestion you have in the middle of the pitch, unlike any other formation you've played. But when defending, and trust me, I've experimented a lot with this formation. The fullback that we have as a left midfielder that needs to transition back and play as a left back when we are defending, he tracks back extremely slowly. Like, he takes his sweet fucking time to just find himself back on defense. And it is a bit annoying because it does leave you a little more vulnerable in defense. So if your opponent is trying to counter you from the sides, it's very important that you keep your composure and delay the opponent's attack as much as you can, so your fullback have more time to come back, track back and find himself back on defense. I would say this is the only downside to this formation. Other than that, very powerful formation still. Now with my right midfielder Adama Traore, I tried to have him on comeback on defense as well to make this formation defend as a 5-back. I did not like it one bit. I don't know, there's just something about it. Maybe it's the low defensive work rate on Adama Traore that makes him even slower transitioning back to defense. And even when he finally does and we form a 5-3-2 when we are defending, the problem is the midfield is just too open. I'd rather have 4 midfielders in front of 4 defenders than have just a 5-back and a very open and vulnerable midfield for my opponent to just pass the ball around. I don't know, does that make sense? Especially that now everyone has a Finesse Shot Plus player, a Trivela Plus player, or a Power Shot Plus player in their team. So even when you're playing a 5 back, a 6 back, a 10 back, they still have the option to open you up from far, far away. And the benefit of having that one extra player in the midfield instead of defense is that you can close out the gap and just defend against those type of shots way easier. So 3-4-2-1 is still a very meta and fun formation. It may not be as meta as it was before, but it's definitely as fun as it was before the patch. And as you may have noticed already watching this far into the clips, I'm abusing the hell out of that wide attacking midfielder, Adama. If you have a lightning quick player playing there, oh my god, there is just so much space you get to exploit in counterattacks. If not, or if you just don't want to go through that route, you need to keep in mind that this formation needs some time when transitioning into attack to find the final structure of having 5 attackers. If you go too early, you're gonna find yourself isolated and lose the ball a lot. It's just about finding the balance of not going like slow build up, but still not rushing towards every counterattack option you see. If you learn to maneuver with this, you'll be next to unstoppable when attacking with this formation. If you play in the higher divisions or you're an absolute sweat, I would recommend not using this formation for the full 90 minutes. Instead, have a more balanced and neutral formation like 4-4-2, 4-2-2, 4-3-2-1, and have this formation as a more attacking alternative version. Maybe in times that you desperately need a goal, you just know you're better than your opponent but you can't break them down with a neutral formation, or when you just simply want to go at your opponent and make them rage quit. Anyway, don't forget to have fun when playing this game. This is the end of this episode. Thank you everybody for watching this so far. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Cheers!